Ah, beautiful, isn't it? Brings back the sound of childhood for me. I don't know about all of you, but when Jurassic Park first came out, I was about 7 or 8 years old. Perfect time to really get into this. Huge fan of the toys, obviously. Always have played the video games. Fun fact, The Lost World was one of the main reasons why I even got a PlayStation 1. Alright, let's get to it. So, today we are looking at the Jurassic World Evolution game that comes out June 12th, I believe. Had my eye on this one for a long time. Huge Jurassic Park Operation Genesis fan. Huge. So, basically we're getting the spiritual successor to that game. And, that was a burp. And I'm pretty pumped about it. So, what we're going to do here is basically go over some of the general gameplay aspects, and then over also, as we do this, the different species that have been revealed so far. So, without further ado, let us freaking go, right? Alright, so we are going to switch out to this bad boy. Oh yeah. Alright, so we're going to do dinosaur reveals, see what gameplay elements are revealed through those, because I'm sure most of you have watched the initial trailers anyways. And I'm kind of late to the Jurassic World Evolution party as far as YouTube goes. Like I said, I've been watching this game for a long time. But, I mean, I've got it pre-ordered. I've been talking to the developers. I would love to get my hands on it a little early, if at all possible. Then play it on my Twitch channel, which then I would repost here. But, alright, so Kentrosaurus is where we're starting.
Extracting species profile. Kentrosaurus is a...
Alright, so when this species was first speculated about as being in it, because we saw kind of a brief reveal, and you see these giant spikes sticking out the side. I mean, honestly, there's no freaking doubt. I mean, look at it. Nope. Look at it. There we go. Nailed it. It's got this giant spike sticking out, and I mean, it's a spitting image of what we got in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. I actually had the Kentrosaurus far more often than I had Stegosaurus. Was Stegosaurus even in Operation Genesis? Hell, it's been so long since I played. Which brings me to another point. I will be playing Operation Genesis on my Twitch, and then I will be putting it over here for y'all to enjoy. So look forward to that. And the tons... Oh, I'm sorry, it's already 1 a.m. The tons of messages that you get from Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ali Sadler and John Hammond and Henry Wu. And speaking of, it was announced this week that Henry Wu and Claire Dearing are going to both be part of Jurassic World Evolution, so that's pretty cool. I like that they not only have Jeff Goldblum, but even a bunch of additional characters from the series. Anyways, let's continue.
Of Stegosaurian dinosaur from the late Jurassic period of Tanzania. It had a small, elongated head.
This does show some form, and we haven't in gameplay seen intelligent herding, but this does show that the species are capable of a herding behavior. No, I'm not tired. Nope. Alright. But seriously. And this is one of the first reveals for dinosaur combat that we got. I mean, you had to kind of see this coming, though, because in the early gameplay that a bunch of these YouTubers got to go through, these dinosaurs had... Oh, Jesus Christ. These dinosaurs have attack stats, they have defense stats, I mean, when you have stats like this, obviously combat is a part of the game. Now, it also recently came out that dinosaurs that you have will retain their wounds from battles that they do throughout their lives. And so you will have dinosaurs with badass scars. And I think that's pretty cool. It's a really nice touch. It gives some personality to the game. It also enforces making their prestige more, because that was not really something that I was expecting, to be honest.
In a large gut.
Play, you bastard.
Extracting species
what?
profile. Centausaurus is a...
Alright, so Centausaurus. I think I've heard of this dinosaur like once in my entire life. And I was a pretty big dinosaur nerd. So if I've barely heard of it, I'm sure most people are like, why the hell? But, you know, it's another dinosaur in the same family as like Parasaurolophus and stuff like that. So it makes a lovely pairing with these other herding dinosaurs. And who knows, maybe they'll have... one thing that I'm curious to see is if certain species have like distinct interactions with each other. Like, say they're not the same species, but they're from like the same family. You know, maybe they have some distinct reactions to each other, you know, be it an act of peace or what have you, but I think that'd be really cool.
Genus of hadrosaurid dinosaur from China. Centausaurus had a characteristic duck-bill snout, and like other hadrosaurs, probably lived in herds.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Yes, it's intentional so I can take care of my nose.
Species profile. Apatosaurus is a genus of large sauropod dinosaur that lived in North America.
I don't think that after Jurassic World and the Apatosaurus playing a, you know, a relatively big supporting role, where it was the only animatronic included in the entire movie, I don't think this one comes as a huge shock to anybody. But it does seem that we're getting more sauropods than we did in Operation Genesis, which is really nice. I always appreciated having herds of brachiosaurs and what are those? The Carmarosauruses. You know, just they complement each other. They go into a herd real nice, and I like options. So you know what? If you want to give me an extra 1 or 2 sauropods, sure, I'm down with that.
During the late Jurassic period, to lighten its vertebrae, it had air sacs that made the bones internally full of holes. Extracting species profile. Metriacanthosaurus, meaning moderately spined lizard, is a...
Alright, so This one was a bit of a surprise, which maybe it shouldn't be because I think it was more involved in like other Jurassic Park lore other than the movies, perhaps the books and such. But given that we have an incredibly small understanding of this particular theropod, I mean, we don't even know necessarily that this is what it looked like. Our our only fossil of it is so incomplete. This is complete guesswork. It's absolute guesswork. I'm not going to say that I hate it. I don't hate it. It's actually pretty cool. And it does somewhat resemble the figure that Mattel put out, so that's cool. But I do like the vivid greens and such that they've given it. Just kind of standout markings. Sorry, guys. I will never do this late again. Because all I do is keep yawning. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. I mean, this is an absolute guess. An educated guess, maybe, but a guess nonetheless.
Genus of Metriacanthosaura dinosaur from the suborder Theropoda, and first discovered in Oxford, England.
Ooh, ah.
Extracting species profile.
Database error.
Although delicious in a curry or
Alright, and actually, I would like to point out before this prank for April Fools that they gave us that they did show the Deinonychus in passing, and its headgear has been very controversial. But it does also show two carnivores living side by side in the same enclosure. So this kind of seems to hint at that potentially being a realistic opportunity. Perhaps if the pen is big enough, if there's plenty of food to go around, maybe, just maybe, you can have multiple carnivores. Now, since the Jurassic Park Velociraptor is roughly the equivalent size of a Deinonychus in real life, I am curious to see if they will pump up the Deinonychus in size a little bit, or if we're going to have two members of that family damn near the same size that we can just release upon each other. We could have clan wars. You can make a whole freaking show about that. The Raptor versus Deinonychus clan wars started when Freddy ate Daphne's fish. The bastard. Alright.
roast with mint jelly. This mammal can also be enjoyed raw, and is the principal source of protein for carnivores in the park.
Ruh-roh. I do like that they flash April Fools. That's kind of funny.
Extracting species profile. Pachycephalosaurus, meaning thick-headed lizard, is a bipedal ornithischian dinosaur. The thick...
Alright, what I like about the introduction to Pachycephalosaurus is A, we get to see that the coloration is accurate to the series as far as the movies go. It is very The Lost World Jurassic Park, which is cool. I appreciate the attention to detail. Way to go. I would also say that I do enjoy the animation of the head bunt, because there actually appears to be some sort of shock absorbed and such, and that amount of realism in the animations of these animals is fantastic and very much so appreciated. So kudos, Frontier, kudos.
thick skull dome of this species has given rise to...
Yeah, I think they had like a 9-inch thick skull. That's intense. That's a pretty thick head. You know when they tell people that are stubborn that they're thick-headed or thick-skulled? Yeah. These guys. These freaking guys.
To the hypothesis that they used their skulls during intraspecies combat.
We've got a science contract active here to perform an expedition for at least one herbivore fossil.
Whoa, okay. That isn't what we wanted to do. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the pre-order trailer and take a little bit of a gander at that, and then we're going to call it a night, and we will continue the coverage of this game. I will get far more in depth. Like, this is just me kind of glancing over stuff because, like I said, I'm late to the party. I get that, you know. I mean, I just made this channel like what, 4 weeks ago, so hey, you know, sorry, but anywho, let's kind of check out what this potentially reveals about the game, as it is the latest trailer that we have. That was a hiccup. Now, if you notice the environment, I mean, during this storm, when the T-Rex comes out, the wind is moving all the plants. The plants are all obviously wet due to, you know, particle effects that they have added to give the feel of moisture on the vegetation. And look at all those blades of grass. I mean, the attention to detail in this game, top notch, A++. Love it. And it does look like that the level of customization as far as the environment goes is going to be pretty limited. Pretty limited. I mean, the tools are very basic. You can accomplish a lot with them with some patience, but I mean, you can't select the type of plants that you want. You can't select the depth of the water that you want. I mean, and it, you know, it's possible that they add these features down the road. You know, if the fans call out and they're like, "Yo, this is stupid." Frontier may actually listen. They're one of those gaming companies that I actually feel strongly may actually listen to the fan base. And the animations for buildings going up is a really cool touch. It's very SimCity. Even like SimCity 2000, SimCity 4, I always remember buildings going up. So it's really cool to see the scaffolds and stuff like that. And just, again, another fantastic touch. And an eye, there we go, an eye, for detail. So, again, appreciated. And I can't wait to see, once this game is completed, what kind of polish it leaves the developer with, and if we'll need a 2 gigabyte update, like most games nowadays, to make sure that it works correctly. But you know what? Call me crazy, but I don't think that'll be the case. I really don't. We get gyrospheres. Hell yes. And clearly in this game, unlike Operation Genesis, herbivores are going to straight up attack your fences at times. Probably because you're not meeting a need that they have. Or, you know, you're fencing wee bit too light for the animals you have contained. There's that Deinonychus with its incredibly strange headgear. Again, not sure why, but alright, we'll roll with it. And that's the first confirmation of tornadoes, but honestly, most sim games have them to some capacity, or a disaster to replace them, so not surprised, but cool to see it. You can see that it knocks out your power lines, since electricity will be a vital portion of this game. You're not going to want to half-ass it, I guess, is how they make it sound. But we'll see. Time will tell. Did Rexy ever blink? Do dinosaurs not blink? Is that not a thing? Do they not have, like, internal eyelids like most reptiles nowadays? I have no idea. And most people don't, probably, but an interesting question to raise as I built a giant pallet of crap at work today. Hey, I was right, June 12th. So, looking forward to that. That'll be really great. And then I say for the next video, since we just kind of went over some of the species, some very general ideas about the gameplay, stuff like that, I say next time, which, believe me, there will be a next time, because I'm just going to go ahead and blow up Frontier's mailbox. And I don't mean that with explosives, I mean that with my words, because I am a word poet, right? Okay, so, thank you everybody, super appreciate it. It was a really good time, as brief as it had to be. I mean, it's 20 minutes, and I could have easily made it a ton longer. But that is why we are going to break more, more ideas out of the ordinary to the show. So, thanks everybody, super appreciate it. You're all amazing. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like or subscribe button. It really helps out. I can't really continue going broke as a joke without your support, so thank you very much. And I will see you all within the next couple days. Have a great night. And I mean that. I mean, not like an okay night, like a freaking great night.